Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to Transwest Truck Trailer RV. Today we're here to talk about another Freightliner we have in stock. It is a 2023 Freightliner M2 106 Summit Hollow conversion. Again, you guys know we do have the bigger engine, which is the M2 112. We do have a couple of them coming through. I think the next two we have coming is already sold. So I want to thank those customers for working with us. I'm being patient as we build those two M2 112s. But this one just came in a couple days ago. Just want to go over some of the things we do when those trucks come in. We'll have our drivers come in. We'll walk around the truck, even though it just came from the conversion company. We're going to make sure everything was done right in our eyes as a salesperson. Once that is done, we go through the process of sending it for our shop. There's a few things we add on those vehicles when it comes in, just to make it look a little better. Looking at the tires right now, I want to show you guys one of the things that we do. We do add those covers over the nuts and that center piece on the tires, and you will find that on both front and rear tires. Another thing that we add during that process is those auto balancers, and those are on all four corners of this truck. 2 front tires and the 2 back tires. After that is done, we go through the process of pressure testing the radiator fluid, making sure there's no leaks. We're gonna go over and we're gonna, how I would say that, the lube everything underneath that truck to make sure everything is in working condition and kind of have everything moving right down there. So they lubricate the whole underneath, all the parts that need lubrication. We go over and do that. And then underneath the hood, we're gonna go over the engine, make sure the vehicle start right. We're gonna check the fuel filter, water separator. We're gonna make sure that is not corroded. As you guys can see how clean that is. We look at the fluids, power steering fluid, radiator fluid. We go over all those things, make sure it is topped off right. Again, one of the things you guys are looking at right now when it comes to our 106s, all our 106s come with the Cummins 8.9 liter engine. And it's also partnered with the Allison 6-speed automatic transmission, and that's on the 3200 TRV transmission as well. Again, we go over all that, make sure our filters are good, make sure there is no air leaks, especially because this truck is on the air brake system. We do have an air ride cab, and that's what makes this truck a little bit different from your typical 1-ton pickup. You have the air ride cab, the air ride 2 front seats, and the air ride suspension. But again, this unit produces 360 horsepower and about 1,150 foot-pounds of torque. Again, having a big hood like this, guys, don't be afraid. It's very easy to close. And one of the cool things about this hood is when it's closing, it has that soft close, so it doesn't just slam on you in case you are working in windy conditions and the wind decides to push it towards you. You could actually stop it before it hits you or get out of the way in time. On each side of this hood, you do have those tie straps. That's why there is the excess up here, so you don't pinch your finger. So always stay away from that clip. And again, remember to close both sides before heading down the road. So that's one of the things you would do on your pre-inspection before you head out. You'll turn on all your lights, or there is a light test button in this truck, which is one of the cool features about the Freightliners, having that light test button. Imagine you are hooked up with your trailer already, whether it's a horse trailer, a 5th wheel camper, one of your deck trailers and all that. You want to ensure that all your lights work before you hit the road. You'll press that light test button. There will be a countdown, enough time to kind of go down and get ready to walk around the truck. It will give you that solid sound, almost like a countdown before a bomb explodes. Pretty much that's how it sounds, just like the movies. So it's a 10-second countdown, and then we'll give you a final buzz. Once you hear that, all your lights outside will be blinking, from your trailer lights once you're hooked up to the truck lights. So as you guys can see right now, you see all the lights are on. All those lights will be blinking, and we're gonna walk around here. All on the steps here, we added those lights to make this truck look full, and people will see you coming down that road. And once all those lights are blinking, you will know exactly what's going on. I just want to come back here for a little bit, Jody. During that light process, everything you see on right now will be blinking. You will see those 2 center lights up here above the headache rack and 2 center lights down here. Those will not be blinking. Unfortunately, this is wired a little bit different. We do have a switch to turn on those lights, and we call that the cargo lights. So if in case you want to work at night, those are some bright LED white lights that will turn on, enough to light up the bed and enough to light up the back end over here. The other way those lights come on, if you put this vehicle in reverse, those 4 lights will come on as well in reverse. So they had a 2-way connection for that. So having a 3rd one with the light test button will cause too much, I would assume, too much conflict with the whole wiring system. So that's the 2 ways those lights will come on. So if in case you put on the light test button and those 4 lights don't work, don't be alarmed. It's just part of the truck. It will not turn on during that test system. As you guys can see, we do have that Dimond plate bed. And one of the reasons a lot of people go to a Freightliner is having that bed space, having that flat surface. And the reason why they moved to the Summit hauler as well is the fact that we designed that trough to allow easy access going in and out of that hitch, and not avoiding, and not injuring or damaging your truck. So having that without having a tailgate, easy to go in, easy to come out. And with the feature that that this truck has, with the rear dump switch, where the rear suspension will actually release all the air and that back end will go down, allows you more clearance as well to hook up and unhook your trailer with ease. So one of the cool things too, when I'm hooking up those trailers with the rear dump switch on, and it sits on the ball or the 5th wheel hitch, once that is hooked up, I typically pull that switch on to allow air to go back. So during that process, those jacks already off the ground makes it easier to fold in. So that's one of the cool features about having that system on here. On this particular truck, we got a 15,000 pound bumper pull hitch. We added a 7-pin hookup a little bit lower over here and a 7-pin up here for your trailer up top. We do have the Voyager camera system. Again, this is an independent system. You have your own screen inside. You could add an additional 3 cameras to it. We have 1 right now, so you could add an additional 3. So a total of 4 cameras could go on that screen. And we'll go inside, we'll show you what that looks like. But that's one of the cool features about this. It's very independent from your Stinger stereo sound system. So you don't have to switch from trying to play the radio and looking at the screen at the same time to back your trailer in. And the fact that that system stays on throughout your drive, I mean, you can turn it off if you want, but the fact that it's on throughout your trip, you can actually see exactly what's going on back there. And you will see what I'm talking about once we get inside. That BMW turnover ball hitch, again, you could have that hitch exposed if you want, but if you don't, you could actually pull this forward, lock it in, and then you could take that ball, lift it up, turn it over, and it'll be flat inside so you don't have that exposed ball. So that's why they call it the BMW turnover ball hitch. You can turn it over, put it out of place, especially if you have a flat deck like your 1-ton pickup. Once you turn that over, you still have your full bed. Another feature we have done in the past, the fact that some people want this to be fully enclosed as well, but still had that trough feature. With having the BMW turnover ball hitch on here, we've fabricated a cover that could go in here and actually fold out, so you could have that trough feature as well. So I've done that a couple times already for customers, and they're loving it. So if that's an option, you still want that flatbed feature but still want the trough as well, we could actually design that cover right here at this location in Fredrick. So just a little stuff for you guys to know. Another option for storage, as you guys can see on over here, we got 2 storage boxes. I know we're going back and forth here, but we got 2 storage boxes here. And we try to use as much real estate underneath this truck for that storage box, so you will see the cuts the way they are designed. They're just trying to use up all the space we could underneath there, with all what's going on under the chassis. But we do have an airline here for your air supply for your trailer, to put air in your tires, your trailers, your toys. And we do have an airline here, and you plug it in here and you could run it wherever. But you do have an additional option of adding a storage box to the rear of this. And then again, that just added more storage to a vehicle like this compared to your one-ton pickup, where you have to use whatever space you have left on the bed. But having those extra storage is one of the reasons people move on to a bigger truck like this and not go in a semi-style. If you're using this truck for personal use, you don't need a CDL depending on your state, so do some research with your DMV. But majority of the time, if you're using this for personal use, pulling your horse trailer, your camper, you don't require a CDL. But having all that truck for safety comes in very handy as well. So the savings behind it, the cost of ownership, having a vehicle like that. Again, when it comes to maintenance, you have Freightliner dealerships all over the United States. When it comes to the braking system, you have the engine brake instead of the exhaust brake. So there's so many different reasons why people move in terms of safety. The life of those tires will last you longer than your pickup. Yes, it's bigger tires, but believe me, it's about similar to the price of tires on your pickup as well. So take that into consideration. Another feature why people buy this is the amount of room, headroom on this truck. So me going into this truck, I'm 5'10". The amount of headroom I have in this truck is one of the reasons why people decide how safe this truck is, and having something like that for family trips. You know, the amount of space here, and the fact that this bench would collapse and go into a bed position. You could sleep in this truck. It is DOT certified. You could go into one of those truck stops, lock your vehicle, have a nap. Again, you have the option of tinting those vehicles. You have the other option of getting those visors that cover the windows. It will cover all four doors, the back window and the windshield. So you do have that option, and we could get that purchased right here at this location. But again, this headroom is one of the main things here compared to your one-ton pickup. And again, underneath the seat you have a subwoofer, nice little area here for that, and a little bit of storage underneath there. But you do have options for charging back there. We do have an inverter, so you have two 110 plugins and a couple areas for USB. Our door panels have our signature sign here, our Summit Hauler logo. Really nice feature. And we do have the Kenwood sound system, the Kenwood speakers and amplifier. Underneath here we got one of our 50-gallon tanks. So we got a 50-gallon on the opposite side, so a total of 100 gallons of diesel, and that will be filled up before leaving the store. You do have a 6-gallon def tank as well. This storage area does lock, so you can protect your fuel. You have your engine block heater for cold days like today, and of course you have your trickle charger for your batteries down here. All right, let's jump inside, guys. Gonna start up this truck and show you some of the interior features. And remember, coming in and out of this truck, you got a 4-point entry, so you could exit and enter without having to struggle too much. When you're starting it up, you want to allow the pins to go through its phase. Then you're going to start this truck up. Let's start up with the Voyager camera system up here. Right now, I know it's a gloomy day. It's okay, so we put it on the day feature. So it has its way of auto brighten the screen. So Right now we're on the day feature, so you can see everything behind you here. So even with your trailer hooked up on here, you could still see the sky around your trailer. You can still see what's coming on either side of the truck. So this camera with the view back there is very, very awesome, because with your trailer going along here, you can still see the sides of what's going on. And without having a trailer up here, look at the view, you know, from the camera here. So having an additional 3 cameras on here, you could actually split the screen, and by doing so, you have this little, right after the power button, you have this little square with a circle. This is to toggle through the different cameras here. So if you just want that single view, you will have camera 2 by itself, camera 3 by itself, and camera 4 by itself, depending on where they are. And then once you move from camera 4, then you start splitting the screen. So you have 1 and 2, 1, 2, and 3, and then you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So a nice little way of maneuvering through the different cameras. Right next to it here is your air horn. Once you pull this, you got 2 air horns on top here that will blow anybody away if you pull that. Right behind that here is your microphone for your wireless or hands-free calling. Coming down here, you got your awesome steering wheel. Right now this vehicle only has 620 miles. But your gauges here, you got your oil gauge, water, transmission. You got your DEF with your 4 lights down here. You have your fuel, and then you have your primary and secondary air tanks. So one of the cool things about that is when you start up your truck, most times, you know, the truck will release the air out of the tanks due to the fact you don't want to keep moisture in there, so it has that auto release of that air. So once you start up, it might start off in the red. Sometimes, depending on how long you let the vehicle sit, it will start off in the orange, or if you just stop it for a little bit, it will stay in the white. But in the red, it will actually beep. So don't be concerned about that for all those people new to Freightliner. It will beep until it goes to orange. It will kind of stop when it's on orange. But the safe part is when it's in the white. So the more you press on the brake, it's going to release that air. So as you see now, it's coming out from the white and going into the orange. I'm just going to do this for a little bit so you guys will kind of hear that sound it will make when you first start it up for the first time in a long time. So having that air, it will actually add air to itself as it goes. And then again, if you want a quicker, you know, and you rev it up a little bit, it will actually add air to that system. Over on the left hand side of the steering wheel, you have your level here for your wiper, and this switch also gives you left and right signals. And in that yellow piece over here, you might not be able to see it, it will give you your spray. It will spray water onto the windshield. And also on that here will give you your brights. So this is a multifunction level right here. So your window washer wiper fluid, your brights, and of course your indicators, all in one. Behind that you have your light switch. So to put on your headlights, that will turn that on. Center will turn it off. Right next to it there's a plus and minus with INCR or DECR, so increase or decrease, and that will actually brighten or lighten the brightness on your dash. But with this curved dash, soon from now you won't be getting those curved dashes anymore. With our 2024 models that'll be coming in. So the first set of 2024s will have the curved dash, but once it moves to the plus model, you will have the flat dash. So if you enjoy having those curved dash, now is the time to buy, because they will discontinue that curved dash. So there's a lot of buttons here. Most of them are self-explanatory, but I'm going to explain some of them right here. So this is the engine brake system on this truck. You do have your Allison 6-speed automatic transmission, reverse, neutral, and drive. So very easy to control. Once it's in neutral and that air brake or parking brake is engaged, you are in park mode. You have cruise control. These 2 buttons, one will turn it on, and again you got your set and accelerate, marker light, You have your manual regen button, traction control, rear differential lock. Again, that's something we'll go over with you either via FaceTime if in case you want this vehicle delivered, or we could do it like we do on a lot of videos. We have some videos that we explain more about those buttons. We try not to do it on every single video because you guys could go back and see some of those videos here on our Transwest Live videos on YouTube or Facebook. But again, some things I want to mention here. People will think those USB will give you that Apple and Android plug-in, but these USBs right here are only for charging. Down here underneath that little clip here, we'll have another USB plug. Once you plug into that, then that will give you that Android or Apple on your Stinger stereo sound system. It also has an HDMI cable, which you could plug in a small DVD player or a gaming console. We do have that 110 plug-in back there, so in case you want to use that little small screen just for some entertainment, you have that switch here. We do have the Red Arc trailer brake system. All manuals will be in this little goodie bag we give you guys during delivery. We'll have options on how this all works, but again, a simple trailer brake system, out of the way. It's not too bulky. It's even smaller than what you'll have in your pickup as well. So nice little system that we added to our trucks. Right next to it here, some trucks will have it, some trucks will not. But with our subwoofer underneath the back seat, this is your little knob here to increase and decrease that sub controls underneath the seat. Rear cab AC and heat, cup holders, nice little storage box in here with a LED light. But again, with this front seats on this particular truck, we have heated lumbar and of course air ride seats. We do have two handles on either side of those front seats. Nice little way to get comfortable and drive. Again, it's all about comfort when it comes to a Freightliner. It's all about safety when it comes to a Freightliner. Look at that view right here with that windshield. You can see everything ahead of you. And just a fantastic investment. So if you guys want more questions, just like yesterday, I had a few calls for customers new to buying Freightliner and potentially earning their business, calling in and get more information. And we do that. We take our time, explain stuff to you guys. It was an hour on the phone with this customer, but all the information he wanted, answered. I was able to answer those questions. So don't feel free, guys. It doesn't hurt calling to ask questions to make sure whatever investment you're making the right decision for you and your family. And remember, it's all about safety. No money in this world, will compensate for the life you have right now. So if you're going to make that investment and you're going to be pulling heavy equipment with the family and stuff like that, I would rather do your research before just jumping in any little truck. But again, that's why we are here to answer those questions. Feel free to reach out. My number will be at the bottom of the screen. My email will be there as well. Feel free to email, text, call. If I don't call you, leave a message. I will call you back, and we'll go from there. But again, awesome unit. 2023 Freightliner M2 106 Summit Hauler conversion. Again, we do have a lot of competition out there with the Sport Chassis, Loretto, Western Hauler, Bolt, you name it, they have it out there. So it's your choice on what Freightliner you want to use, but the Summit Hauler does come with everything that you're looking for. So feel free to reach out to myself or Larry Vickers, and we'll definitely answer those questions. In the meantime, enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you guys back here next week. Larry will be with you guys here tomorrow, so look out for that. Thank you very much. Have a good day.